Join us on our journey through life through the Christian lens.
Enough with that. Roll the tape. Welcome back to The Filtered Podcast.
I'm Evan.
And I'm the only Colby.
Yep.
This is take 2 of this episode.
I'm so frustrated.
That is sometimes the tech life, you know? You think you're doing everything right, and then you don't get the audio.
Yeah, but we had such a great ending, and we didn't talk about Taylor Swift once.
Well, now we ruined that.
Well, welcome back. Thank you for listening, liking, and subscribing.
Thank you for joining us back after a little hiatus.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks.
November was a blitz.
Yeah.
I've been calling the last couple months the Colby Murray World Tour.
It's amazing because you have been everywhere.
I have been everywhere in the Northern Hemisphere.
So tell me, how was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was pretty great, man. Especially, it makes it a little bit better when Michigan beats Ohio State. That's a Thanksgiving tradition the last 3 years. That's been my personal favorite.
Yeah.
This year, however, we were with family, and half of the family is Ohio State fans, and the other half isn't. So this year was a pretty good year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Michigan sure won. Not super dominating as in the last couple years, but a win's a win.
Yeah.
Take it, move on.
Yeah.
Advance.
Yeah. We promised to talk about the Marvels too. Yeah, we both went. How'd you feel about it?
You know, after the movie was over and we all parted our ways, I just kind of went home. On the drive home, I queued up some sad music, and just kind of sat there for a bit and was reminiscing on the death of the MCU.
Yeah.
And like I know the Marvels is getting a lot of hate.
Yeah.
I think it's a little overhated. It was fun.
It was okay.
It was well done. I had fun with it, but the entire time I'm like, man, this script is terrible.
The script is terrible. The layout of it is actually kind of cool. Like all the effects and everything. You can tell Marvel has came a long way, which is cool. I'm not excited to see the end of it, like the end of Marvel. I'm done seeing the end of. I'm ready for the end of creating new things out of nowhere.
Yeah,
which Marvel likes doing. But I mean, they did great on the ending of Loki. They did an amazing job.
Yeah.
So maybe Marvel has hope after all.
Well, I mean, you look at it, Marvel's like 50-50 on things they're releasing.
Yeah.
And the things that are good are really, really good, but the things that are bad are really, really bad and kind of outshadow the good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it is, but sometimes in life it's easier to hang on the negatives than it is to hang on the positives.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just a me thing.
No, yeah, you're right. It's a lot to process too. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we got Ant-Man, Quantumania, and the Marvels this year, but we also got Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
How'd you feel about that? I never actually asked you about that.
Great movie.
I loved it.
It was very deep.
It was sappy.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how you have to end.
Yeah. I joked around with my friend about how he cried during the whole movie. This was during my birthday too.
Yeah.
It was so funny. But then I watched it when it came out on Disney Plus, and I totally cried. I was such a wimp, and I had to text him and say, "I'm sorry. I'm totally a hypocrite."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sad movie.
Yeah.
I was really annoyed there for a second when I was like, no way they're killing Star-Lord, and that's the only person that they're killing right now.
Yeah.
And apparently that's the only person they're bringing back.
I don't know how I feel about like the old quote unquote old MCU characters combining with the new MCU characters. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I mean, they were always doing that in the beginning of the MCU. They
Yeah.
established like Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor, but then
Which
kept
that
adding characters to their
that was
universe.
the beginning 3. Like th- that was planned for Marvel, and that was the uh for us that grew up on Marvel, that was the beginning of something amazing up to Endgame.
Mm.
Like it was like they led up everything to Iron Man living as a coward to him dying as a hero to Captain America not lifting up that stupid hammer
Yeah.
to everybody screaming in the movie theaters when he lifted up the hammer for the
Yeah.
first time. Like that's what I want Marvel to keep on going, but they're throwing new characters in kind of messy because they're also bringing in like real life stuff, like this generation type of stuff. So
Mm.
like politics
Yeah.
and racist crap and sexist crap, and
Yeah.
it's stupid.
Yeah.
And they're gonna probably lose me after the Kang era.
Well, we'll see what happens after the Kang era.
Yeah. Just a segue. How was the Michigan game?
Yeah. So, for those who don't know me, huge Michigan fan, as I kind of alluded to earlier.
If the beanie doesn't take
Beat
that,
Michigan versus everybody.
yeah,
But I love Michigan. I love Michigan football. It's a great time to be a Wolverines fan.
yeah,
We won our third straight Big Ten championship after not being there my entire lifetime. So that was pretty awesome. Ranked number 1 in the nation for the first time
yeah.
since '97.
Wow.
So there's a lot of new going on, because a lot of that's the first time in my lifetime that any of this stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Gotta win 2 more games and we win it all. That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I don't know if we can.
I probably won't hear the. If it happens, I probably won't hear the last of it from you.
Oh yeah, that's all I talk about.
Yeah.
You'll probably hear more of it from Sean,
No. Yeah. Yeah.
because Sean likes to bug me about it,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he's a Michigan State fan.
Weirdo.
It's okay. They don't have an active quarterback on their roster right now, so
Like I
I'm not
said.
concerned.
Yeah. Like I said, I would like to go to a game with you next
Yeah.
year if I'm still around, even though that the tickets are stupid.
Well, I mean, you're looking at like the season opener tickets are like $80, which that's not a lot,
That's not bad.
but like we're talking about pretty high up. And then you're looking at games that's like, so you're the season opener will be like Michigan wins like 56-0.
Yeah.
So like not really a great game, just like I was there. Like if you want to go to a game where it's like, okay, this is gonna be somewhat good, we're talking like $300
Yeah. Yeah.
for like the same seat.
My uncle was a security guard for his boss. He was like super rich. And he went to Florida with him. Had to dress up all nice, like in a suit and everything.
It crashed.
Give me a second.
Maybe if it paused from there. Oh, never mind. All right, we'll fix that one in post.
Yeah.
Keep a mental reminder.
So, like I was saying, so my uncle would have to wear like suit, and so he would take his boss to his meeting, and then he this one time his boss said, "Yeah, you can take the car, and you can go to this," and he pulls out 2 Bulls tickets and he went, "What the?" This is insane. And like he started freaking out. He called my aunt and like bragged about it, and then like sent pictures to my mom.
It was like courtside seats.
Yeah, it was court, and it, like randomly out of nowhere, he just pulls them out, gives it to my uncle, says, "Go to a game."
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, while his boss is at a meeting, he took a Rolls Royce.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So, my dad's side of the family, most of them are pretty loaded.
Yeah.
Most of them have a lot of money, which is pretty cool. Happy for them. But when we get together for family wise, like we all meet up at their places because there's like 30, 40 of us.
Yeah.
So we go to the mansion. But my uncle, they always have whatever's the newest piece of technology. So I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like the first time I ever heard about those hoverboards,
Yeah.
was because my cousin got one. We're all trying to play with it and learn how to use it.
Yeah.
But this year he had a full golf simulator in his basement.
That's awesome.
Like the one they have at Stonehenge.
Yeah.
But in his basement just for him to use. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I watched this one guy that made one on Instagram, and he made a little divot into the ground in his basement and made that the simulator, and then he found out that there was a guy coming, the house association like inspector, to make sure that everything's regulated right, because somebody like told that company, that foundation, that this guy was doing this and it was suspicious. So the inspector came. This man literally made it a movie center, like just to like make this guy feel nice. He tore down the whole simulator and just put up a movie screen and put couches in the back. Like what?
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
I would
cool.
love a simulator in my house.
Yeah, they were all freaking out and playing golf all week.
Yeah.
I was like, there's football on. I don't want to play golf. I would rather watch the football.
Yeah.
So I would sit there for most of the time with my dad watching football. And then every once in a while I'd pop out. Because like they had this giant entertainment room.
Yeah.
Like probably like a 70-inch TV.
Yeah.
So I just turned on split screen. I had like all the football games going at once. And it was awesome.
That's amazing.
So yeah, it was pretty fun. Every once in a while I'd come up for air. And they'd be like, why don't you hang out with us? I'm like,
I'm doing something that I like. Yeah.
I'm also a pretty huge introvert.
Yeah.
Like I get my energy from being by myself and kind of like doing my own thing.
Yeah.
Just having people around. Not whereas most of my family are extroverts. And it just becomes who can talk loudest over each other.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's just not my thing.
Yeah, that's why I don't like going to my family reunions, because so my dad's side is like barely anyone wants to talk. So like we barely get to know anyone. Well, we get to know everyone because of how quiet they are, which is kind of great. I actually told my mom that the only thing that I'm enjoying when we go back for Christmas is the fact that we get to go to my aunt's house, and she's super sweet. I love her. She's so nice. And but for Christmas their whole house is quiet.
Yeah.
I love that. And she's retired. So it's even better because she gets to hang out. But my mom's side though, there's always some sort of drama. There's always some sort of thing that gets in the way.
Yeah.
There's always something that's like, well, this is a piece of crap.
Yeah.
And like the last family reunion that I went to, everybody was drinking, everybody was smoking, everybody was cussing. I'm like, come on, guys. I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah. Well, I do love family reunions and catching up with everybody.
Yeah.
I can't do this all day.
Yeah. If I could pick between going to my Nana's house, watching a movie and eating pizza with her, and or going to a family reunion where I feel like an outcast because I haven't seen these people in years. Yeah, I'm taking the one with the pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would too.
Yeah.
You think I live with my grandparents?
Yeah. 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 I we would so me and my Nana have a really good relationship. And what we'll do is my family will go do whatever they need to do or want to do, and I'm invited almost half the time now that I'm 18. Um and I've been told oh yeah, you can stay with her. And that's been the best because one, I'm out of the way of any arguments. Two, I'm not going to be just sitting there doing nothing and waiting for me to leave in 3 hours.
Yeah.
And three, I get to hang out with my grandma.
Yeah.
I love that. And and she also loves hearing how I am spiritually, and I love that. She makes me feel at home when I get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But I cannot go to family reunions.
Yeah.
I'd rather be at peace with somebody than be at each other's necks.
Yeah. I'd much rather do one-on-one conversations with people.
Yeah.
I'll get coffee with people all the time. In fact, the last 3 days I've gotten coffee with 3 different people.
Yeah.
And I'd much rather do that than be in a big group of people where it's
yeah.
just exhausting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to know everybody, but all we're doing here is joking.
Yeah.
This isn't all that fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I agree.
Maybe that's just the introvert in me, just in one-on-one conversations.
Yeah.
There's no better way to really get to know a person than just talking to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what we've been doing in now 9. It's one-on-one conversations. This is interesting. Most Christians that show up to a new youth group are going to be introverts, or most likely going to be really quiet and not say anything. So as leaders, we have to walk up to them, talk to them, and sometimes they just want a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Which is it's okay. You're not expecting for this person to become your best friend right away. Neil.
Yeah.
I barely know Neil. I want to get to know him because I just feel awkward when I'm around him.
Neil's awesome.
Neil seems really cool, but I want to get to know him.
Yeah.
Because if I don't get to know him, it's going to be the same thing with Aiden, where I'm going to be hey, what's happening? Because it's just going to be awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah, communication key.
Yeah.
Yeah. But segueing again, the next podcast everybody's going to see is we're inviting our second guest. He has talked. He did a message for a youth group, and we want everybody to hear this message because we think it would be really good just to have the opportunity to have the message a message in our podcast, which would be great, but also just connecting with everybody through what we say, a Christian lens.
Trying to kind of keep that conversation going from things.
Yeah.
But so I've just kind of setting the stage, setting a little primer for it. The conversation will be about when God is silent. Talking about when times are hard and God feels far away. How do we react? How should we react?
Yeah.
I think it's an important conversation to have too, just simply because it's really easy to praise God when things are going well. Love, I can praise God all the time whenever Michigan beats Ohio State, but sometimes it might be a little hard when Michigan doesn't win.
Yeah.
That's a very shallow example, but it's easy to praise God when everyone's liking you and things are clicking, but when things aren't clicking, not so easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah. And um and we talked about this in our first cut when we were talking. I know there this one lady, and she is very like, I feel like if everybody died in her family, that like the first thing that she would do is pray.
Mm.
Like, and that's so powerful, because it sucks, but barely anybody's going to do that. Like, with our age gap,
Yeah.
like nobody's going to do that. They're going to be staying at home, drowning their selves in this pool of regret, disappointment, or something like that, where they're not going to be okay.
Yeah.
Instead of praying about the situation and asking God to protect them with grief and depression.
Yeah.
But I hope, if God allows it, if I get to 70, I want to be like that. I want to be praying 24/7 and being in the Word 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing I've really started to notice, I don't know, maybe I've always kind of noticed it, but sometimes it just hits a little harder, is that just friends around me and stuff around, people around me, they cope in different ways. And a lot of times the ways we cope is just ways that we shouldn't.
Yeah.
And then that coping becomes a lifestyle. And it's just like, well, you know your situation and know your problems, so why aren't you surrendering it?
Yeah.
Because this just created another issue, another route to create more problems for yourself too.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, hey, I openly love Jesus and want to run after him. But then I'm like, some of the things that you're doing, I don't think are very wise.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So that was kind of a little side tangent. It just
No, yeah.
something's been in the back of my mind the last couple of days. Just was thinking about that. Like, it's easy to say, oh yeah, I'm going to be this way when problems happen. I don't know if I would.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
I've lived a good life of where it hasn't been super hard. I mean, there's been moments, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know when my faith truly gets tested. I would love to say, oh yeah, I'd die a martyr for my faith.
Yeah.
But I can't truly say that because I don't know.
Yeah.
It's easy knowing the ending to stories.
Yeah.
But when you're actually tested, it's a little harder.
Yeah.
Like, look at the story of Peter walking on water.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to look at him and mock him for, why'd you take your eyes off of Jesus, bro?
Yeah.
That's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Same time, first time ever in human history that someone walked on water.
Yeah.
So if you put that in perspective, it kind of makes you look at it a little differently.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Wow. Yeah.
It kind of blew Evan's mind there for a second.
Yeah. So, I know somebody, you know him too, and he says, he'll ask this trick question, do you know the Lord? Yes. Do you trust him? Yes. Do you trust in him? Would you die for him? Yes. Have you read his full word? Most people are gonna say no. Then he'll ask, then why do you trust him with your life if you don't know him fully? Now, that's a question we all have to ask. And yeah, that's something that I feel like as Christians we need to work on more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta get in the Word.
Yeah.
It's the only way to grow, kind of figure things out.
Yep.
Like, life just feels so much better when the first thing you do in the morning is get up and
Oh
make a
yeah.
cup of coffee and spend time with God.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like the day gets a little bit better.
Mm. Even better than the days that you wake up and you see Ohio State's quarterback transferred.
So anyway,
Oh, hey, as a Michigan fan, it's been awesome watching everyone from Ohio State leave. But that is not the topic of conversation at the moment. So we can get right back to talking about Jesus.
yeah. Good thing we are known to be going down rabbit holes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good time to be alive. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Christmas around the corner. You got any special plans coming up?
I've been having to tell people that we have to schedule stuff next year because of how busy I am. So this weekend I'm going on like an immersion trip
Yeah.
with my sons and daughters group. So that will be fun.
Mm.
I put in a request that I could just take the rest of the month and not do sound and
Yeah.
just be there for people, and I got that allowed. So I just feel a lot of freedom from that. So I'm going to be kind of like I'm gonna try to just focus on what God has for me during this season right now. But in like 2 weeks, I'm going to Illinois for Christmas, and that's going to be very chaotic because I'm going to be there for like 7 days.
Yeah.
And I don't normally like going, and so this will be definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
But other than that, and then also New Year's party. Yeah. What about you?
Nothing much coming up, honestly. Things are a little slower this month, which is nice. Starting a new job hopefully soon.
Yeah.
I got it. I was worried there for a second because I knew New Year's was coming up, and I thought Michigan's playoff game was on December 31st during the New Year's party.
Yeah.
But it's January 1st, so I won.
You know what I just realized? We've been doing this whole thing without Funko Pop.
Yeah.
That sucks. That's
That's
our
okay.
mascot.
I got like 100 more.
Yeah, but well, this podcast isn't special. Okay.
Yeah, this one isn't blessed.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you kind of are working 100 miles a minute.
100 miles a minute and
Yeah.
also not feeling well.
Yeah, yeah. Also, if anyone couldn't tell by my sometimes coughing or sniffling, I'm just getting off one of the worst colds of my life. It came pretty much out of nowhere and then left pretty much as fast as it came. But yesterday was what I imagined COVID was.
Death.
Like, I felt terrible. Like, usually when I'm sick, like, I feel like, oh, I'm like 75, 80% where I can still keep going.
Yeah.
And, like, I'll rest when I need to rest. But, like, yesterday I was like, I got nothing in me. I went out and got coffee with a friend. And I came back. I crashed. Everything was achy. Like, parts of, like, my hands were super warm, but my feet were freezing. My ears felt like they were on fire, but my top of my head was cold.
So
and I was
weird.
wearing a beanie. So I was like, this is just miserable. I've
Yeah.
never been this sick. And then, like, another friend came over and hung out last night. And, like, I was okay for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I just crashed.
Dude, I saw your B-reel, and you looked out of it.
I was gone. Like,
Yeah.
it was bad. Like, most of the day I just laid on the floor. I'm like, it was a struggle to grab my Xbox remote to change to a different show or something when I got bored.
Yeah.
Like, there was no part of me that could do anything yesterday.
Yeah.
And then I went to bed, and I just put on way too many blankets because I was freezing, even though I wasn't cold. Like, it wasn't cold in there. And then I was just all night I was like, I'm super hot, but like this feels good.
Yeah.
And I just woke up. I'm like, oh, I can go. Because I was worried yesterday. Because we were like, you want to record tomorrow or yesterday? I was like, yeah, I can't do today.
Yeah.
I got it all. And I was like, oh no, I hope I can do Tuesday.
Yeah, I was a little worried about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm joking.
It'll buff. I mean, I'm still feeling a little bit. My roommate woke up this morning and said that he was starting to feel. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That was the most miserable I've ever been in my entire life. And I got sick this summer from mold.
Dude, I'm out of it. I'm ready to have this thing with Mac.
Matt.
Yeah. I'm just ready to have this next speaker on and just talk and then just go home and go to bed for
Yeah.
like a few minutes because then I have another meeting to go to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's just life, ain't it? Next
Yeah.
meeting up.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah.
I think this is where we end our catch-up episode.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
Evan just gets to this point where he crashes at the end of the episode.
Oh yeah, because we've gone through 2 trials.
But both times at the end of the episode he crashed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
But yeah, thanks for listening, watching, and subscribing. If you like more of this, we are on multiple platforms.
on all the platforms except Pandora, which apparently still exists.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.